Pretty interesting piece about contemporary dance and sort of mixing it with dealing with horses and creating performance that blends sort of a construct of very disciplined performance and a sort of like ethereal or spiritual freeform type of performance between the lead performer and her subjects and her partners in the situation, which are the animals. I thought this was very interesting, especially as someone who was not used to this type of concept and was not familiar of this type of performance, but there really was a lot of parallels, not just in terms of how she performed, but in terms of her interaction with the horses and sort of like a spiritual expression of freedom that she would associate with horses that she sort of matched with artistic performance in terms of dance and interpretive dance. And I felt like her talking about her process and how she sort of crafted her pattern to sort of create a dynamic that allowed her to craft a performance that was specific to what she wanted, as well as having the horse sort of be able to be themselves and sort of really introduce their own dynamic to what's going on, create a very interesting and sort of spiritual, artistic dynamic that I thought was quite powerful and captivating. The piece was very well constructed cinematically, and it was just very easy to get into and to relate to this concept, even if it's a very niche performance that I don't think a lot of people, and me included, was very familiar with. So in that sense, I thought it was quite informative and quite engrossing in terms of the artistic merit of pursuing performance and art in this type of way.
The moving without expectation, the theme of that was really cool to see visually with her dancing while she's talking about moving without limits or expectations or guidelines. And then we see her doing just that, especially at the end with the music and the dancing. It really came all together at the end of this documentary. The shots in this were really beautiful. I loved some of the drone shots that we saw of her dancing with the horses. Um, and I think that just her dancing in general was captured really beautifully in this film.
There's an extra element of life to this, and that, she's dancing in response to a horse. So, mimicking the movements, but also moving, with the horse. And, it's a real dance. It's a dance between, this lady and nature that's happening. So there's just several levels of life to this art form, to this dance that I really, really enjoyed. But this is a wonderful piece. It was very nicely done. Everybody on camera did an excellent job communicating to us. It was wonderfully directed, wonderfully edited, and the horses were wonderful to see. They were photographed well, but just the lead performer, her dance abilities alone were just worth. I'd watch her dance in any format. She's just a wonderful dancer. But to see this extra level of life that she's putting into her movement and into her life, is just wonderful to witness.
This is just so unique. I have never heard of dancing with a horse, like a dance expression with a horse. The horses, first of all, were beautiful. Love horses, and just this was really cool to watch. Love that one close up on the horse's eye. Thought that was really neat, technically. Really nice music in this. And I honestly, I know there's therapy with horses and animals in general. I just have never seen somebody, a human, try to connect and express with a horse in this way. So I thought this was really cool to see and unique. So I'm glad this has been made and this is being shared with the world. Just being with nature and how we can both benefit, I think, was a really, to me, is a statement that stood out in this. Without, I shouldn't say how we can, well, yeah, how we both benefit. I felt like this wasn't about, being selfish and what can you get from the animal, but it was about how can we connect with each other without having each other do things, like feeling that need fulfilled. I don't know, just this was just really unique.
I learned a lot, and one fact that amazed me the most was the one about horses having a different electromagnetic field, that it makes them more intuitive, even probably empathetic to some extent. I loved how they speak of this open and quite deep connection they accomplished with horses. to levels that can even support healing or coping, going through trauma, and they just need to let go, moving in harmony with the horse. It is just deeply moving and quite appealing. I found it totally in touch with what humans should be doing and how we humans connect with nature and the benefit to both. It was amazing. I really loved it.
I really liked how they had so many different, I mean, a few different things that they were talking about with the kind of freedom of movement and the initial kind of concept, and then bringing in the being like a certified trainer and, I think they called it like equine therapy, I believe, but like bringing a different aspect of it. So it wasn't just a horse and a dancer, was how they were connecting, how they were moving together, how you develop that kind of relationship, and then the kind of like visceral or, real impact that you other people could see with what all of that movement meant and how that had transcended what she was doing in the moment to a kind of freedom and a kind of, like I said, connection. I thought it was really, really lovely.